Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Today you join Sophie and I as we head to Aston Barclay in Westbury to go to their physical auctions, which is something I haven't done for well over, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now, I guess. Long before COVID, even when I buy cars from BCA, I tended to do it online because I didn't have much time to go. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Quite missed the buzz of the haul, to be honest, so it will be interesting. Hopefully I won't get carried away. I'm not sure if Sophie will hold me back or probably encourage me to make silly choices, but it would be good to go and actually have a look around the cars and actually see them go through the haul, be able to hear the cars, get a feel for them, and basically I just want to stock up on a few cheapies for the forecourt and maybe for Sophie to sell some bangers for a banger site. So yeah, see how we do. It looks like it should be a good sale. There's about 170 lots or something going through. I've done a watch list and I've got at least 50 on there that I'm semi-interested in. So ideally I want to buy at least one so I can drive one back, make the most of this trip down here, and maybe a few more. We've got Josh in tomorrow and Friday, so if I can get him doing a few runs there and back to pick up some cars, then we could get stocked up fairly quickly, and it's only like an hour and a quarter away from Barrow Motors, so it's quite a handy location. So I say so a lot, don't I?
A little bit.
Yeah, and everyone tells me I say so, not so, but
no, never noticed that.
Anyway, so yeah, looking forward to getting there, checking out some cars and see what we can't buy.
It's so funny, like I say so and a lot, and then the first thing you said after was so
Try and get it for 1,000, but you got a bid.
Okay. What do I do though?
But you can only bid up to say like 800 quid, because fees will probably be a couple hundred quid.
Put my hand up.
Yeah. Hello, look at me. Well, I've managed to buy one so far, a Citroen C1 that I bought for £2,200. I'd be interested to see how much the fees are on that, because I've never bought from Aston Barclay before. I'm hoping I can buy something else, because I don't particularly want to drive a C1 all the way back, unless you want to.
Not really. I do.
It would be alright, to be fair, they're not bad little cars. But yeah, it's very busy here today, so I can't really do much filming, but I'm hoping to maybe get another one. We got it very late, not ideal. Yeah, let's try and win a couple more, get some food and go back to work. Oh yeah. Well, it wants a good valet. Now that you've got in here and made all that mess.
Funny.
On the whole, tidy little thing, just a little forecourt filler.
My hand up like that, yeah?
Go on, 200, go yeah. Oh, you can do it if you want. You want to do 9? It's up to you. You can bid on the Focus for me. Okay, so as you probably saw there, I did win a Focus ST 2-litre diesel, which I thought would be the nicer car to drive back, but actually I didn't win it. I got it on a provisional, so I've yet to hear back whether they're actually going to accept my offer. To be fair, I was willing to bid up to about 5,500 and they ended up, I think, winning it at 4,700, so about 800 quid under where I would have gone, so they're probably going to try and counter. Maybe I'll meet in the middle at 5 grand or something, if that'll that'll buy it. We will see. But what it means is we got to wait in here, and I'm not driving that back. Unfortunately, I am driving the Citroen C1, which, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad little car. We got Bluetooth. We can get the podcast or something on to keep me entertained in a minute. But as you can probably hear, one downside is we've got quite a high clutch. The biting point is pretty much at the very top of the travel, which is obviously not ideal. One of those things, isn't it? Again, I got this for cheaper than I was willing to bid, so it's just as well, because there's probably going to be a bit of money spent. I don't know whether on this generation, but the older generations of Yaris and C1, etc, etc, you could, yeah, clutch is slipping a bit, manually adjust them, but I think this one is going to need a clutch, so at least it's an easy job on these, but not ideal, but there you are. Can't odds it, this is auction stuff. Maybe I could have leant in and asked the guy how's the clutch pedal feel, and he might have said it's a bit high, and knowing me, I probably would have thought, well, a lot of them are, so bugger it, I'll have it anyway. Either way, I've been and checked out Aston Barclay now. It was nice to get back in the halls and do some bidding. I wish I'd got there earlier, and if I'm going to go back again, then I will get there earlier. You know, if the auction starts at 10, in fact this one started a bit earlier than usual. I think it started about 9:45. I'm probably going to get there for 9, make sure I got a good hour to wander around, check all the cars, make all my notes, get a cup of tea, and then if it comes to bidding, I am fully prepared. I'm not chasing like, oh, I want to check this car, oh, that one's going through auction now, I need to run back, go to the hall and do that, oh no, I need to run back and check this one. It's just a bit of a mess, really. We are going to go and get some food quickly, KFC or a McDonald's or something, before I head back, and I'm going to have to nurse this car back because already the clutch is slipping quite badly, so could be an interesting drive back. How was your first auction hall experience, darling?
Yeah, it was good. Interesting. I thought we all sat down. I thought it'd be different, but it was cool.
You nearly won one.
I know, they outbid me by quite a lot. Like a few hundred, maybe? But I bid. I still bid.
You did bid, yeah. Quite interesting going here to Westbury, about an hour and a quarter away from PCA Bridgewater, where I used to go a lot. There's a few faces that I recognise there, and it's all old boys, so probably old school traders who either don't want to go on the online system or just have never really taken to it, or perhaps they just really enjoy the atmosphere of being in the hall, bidding on cars, the hustle and bustle. It's probably a part of their social calendar as well, because they get to see all their trader friends and catch up on all the gossip and that sort of thing. So it was quite interesting to see that they must be travelling around from auction to auction, trying to buy whatever it is that they stock and sell. But I couldn't do it that way because I won't get back to the garage now by 2:30. I just feel like I've missed out so much of the day to have bought one, maybe 2 cars, which I could have done while sat down in the morning before I got on with other things. So I did really enjoy the atmosphere and being back at the auctions again, kind of reminiscing on that. And I do want to go back and maybe do some more physical auction visits to a few different places and do some more videos. So if you guys have enjoyed the kind of going to an auction video, let me know in the comments. I'm planning on doing a few more like that, but it'd be good to know that I'm not wasting my time. It's reminded me of the types of characters that you see at these places, and maybe I should do a video on the types of characters you'll see at a car auction. It's amazing how much competition there is for the cheap snotters, you know, the things under 1,000, 1,500 quid, maybe 2 grand. That's the majority of what the people are there for, you know. The most amount of people, numbers of people, let's say 50% are there just for the cheap stuff, and they kind of fight pretty fiercely over it, making it quite hard to kind of compete or get in and buy those things, because I guess they're working for minimal margins. They're probably not paying any tax whatsoever. They're trading from their driveway or from somewhere, a mate's garage or something. and they can afford to make 300 quid on a car because they're not going to pay any tax, they're not going to pay any VAT or any of that sort of stuff. So yeah, you always get those types who are there, and the ones that really make me laugh are the ones that are kind of peacocking it around and Mr. Swagger, and they're going to bid on these cars, and you try and put a bid in, they're kind of like give you a smirk as if I'm going to outbid you regardless of whatever. But then something over £3,000 comes in, they've disappeared, so they're not on the haul anymore. It's like, I thought you were Mr. Big Man. You get that in all walks of life, I guess. Anyway, I am going to get back to the garage. This thing seems to drive really well, other than the clutch, so just gonna take care with that. I've already got my Bluetooth plumbed in, so I'm gonna get some music or something on, and I'll see you when we get back to the garage. Right, just to add a bit of fun to the journey, I'm pretty sure we got a flat tyre now. I went over a pothole. Will we have a spare wheel? I don't even know if these have spare wheels, but it looks like if we have, we're about to do a on the side of the road changeover. Wonderful. Well, it's definitely flat. Right, let's have a little look in the boot and see. Let's get the hazards on. Yay, spare wheel. Right. Let's get cracking then. Right, there we go. Not too bad really, probably took 4 or 5 minutes. I'm definitely earning my cup of tea when we get back. It'll be my first one of the day. It's amazing I haven't murdered anyone yet. Normally, I can't do any work until I've had a cup of tea, so... Right, oh god, I've got to find the key now. We're only, well, 10-15 minutes from base now, so... Let's get back and check over the rest of the car. Okay, so back now, still no cup of tea. I've come straight in and got straight on the phone getting quotes for bits and pieces that I know I need for this C1. Obviously we're going to need a new tyre now because I've punctured it going over a pothole. I noticed that went over a pretty heavy pothole, but I didn't think it was that bad. But then when I looked at the tyres, on the front there's a Nexon, which looks reasonably okay. And on the 2 rears, I can't remember what brand they were, but some budget brand. And they look pretty perished, and even the next on the front is looking a little perished. So I think I'm going to bite the bullet and get a full new set of 4 tyres. I've got a quote for those, and it's not too expensive as you'd expect, little 15-inch wheels. Obviously we need a clutch kit, and it's probably going to need a service. So I thought I'd jot it down and talk to you about the fees as well, because it's the first time I've ever bought from Aston Barclay, and I'm not on a good fee structure with them like I am with BCA, because with BCA I buy a good few hundred cars every year, so I'm on platinum, I think, with them, the next one being black. So fees aren't, you know, no one really wants to pay fees, but they're not so bad with BCA. These Aston Barclay ones being on, I guess, what is like the base rate, horrendous. So the Citroen C1 bid, I should say, it was 3,200. I think I kept saying 2,200, but it wasn't. It was 3,200. Fees on that, £519.93. That's crazy. That's the sort of money I'd spend on like £15,000 cars at BCA. So I think I'll have to speak to the account manager there. I have got an account manager, and obviously say, look, I might start buying more through you, but you need to sort something out with the fees, because why would I spend this sort of money? Obviously I have done. I knew I would be paying slightly higher, but I just wanted to go and check the place out, get a feel for get a feel of what's selling, what's not, and whether I wanted to buy from there. So I think I'd quite like to buy some more stuff through Aston Barclay, have some different ways of getting some stuff in. So yeah, I just need to speak to them. Usually I think they're pretty reasonable on matching your tier level with BCA. BCA being the biggest auction house in the country. Most people have got an account with them, so they tend to match. AA check, all of them charge you for that pretty much. That was 35 quid plus VAT. I managed to find some budget tyres, I think they're called Highlinks, which haven't arrived yet, obviously. They're £27 each, that's £108. And a clutch, I managed to get an LUK clutch kit for £86.28, which gives us a total of £3,949.21, plus some servicing bits and pieces. So we're talking £4 basically. And I've got this on Auto Trader. It looks like I'm looking at about 5,300 out. So there's about 1,300 quid profit in there, all in, minus VAT, minus warranty, minus valeting it and all that sort of stuff. So not a huge earner, but like I said, I wanted some cheap stuff to kind of fill up the forecourt, and I'd rather be busy than sit around waiting for bigger profits. So quite happy with that. I've dipped my toe. Again, if the fees were, say, 250 quid, you'd be looking at 1,500 quid profit, and that would be far more, you know, appealing, wouldn't it? I've also phoned up Aston Barclay, and I have won the Focus ST2, so that's a bonus. 2 litre diesel. It's on fairly high miles, 127,000, but that's definitely going to appeal to the right people. That sort of fits our stock criteria, really, kind of aspirational cars. It's a nice car, but it's got slightly higher mileage, or it's slightly older, or whatever. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that, and I'll definitely try and do a video on it. So I bid 4,700 on that, and it went to a provisional bid, and I thought they might phone up and say, oh, you need to bid more, because the cap clean on that was 5,675, I think, and I was willing to go up to about 5.5 because it looked pretty straight, and I knew it was going to be popular. And I thought I might have to meet them at £5 or something, see if they take that, but they didn't. They've just accepted it. Fees on that 539 and 6 pence, which is only like 20 quid more than the £3,200 car. So yeah, not great. Strangely, the AA check on that car, £7.50, not 35. I guess maybe they subsidise it when you get into the more expensive cars. They didn't figure any of this out until pretty much I've got back, so I couldn't drive that back. I didn't buy that car because I wanted to drive it back. I would have preferred to drive that back, but didn't happen. The little C1 was all right, apart from the tyre going on me. So I'm going to have to get that collected tomorrow or Friday by Josh. So I'm going to have some kind of collection fees. I'm going to say it's probably about 50 quid in fuel and labour, because it's not that far. It's about 30 miles from here, and our truck does about 30 miles per gallon, so it's a couple of gallons worth of fuel. So we're looking at a total of £5,296.56 for that. And if I look at Auto Trader retail, it says 7,869, but I'm going to put it out for 8,995 by the time we've tightened it up, because it's going to be such a popular car. I think it's going to be worth that. So 8,995 minus 5,296.56. If we pull that off and we don't need to do more work, which we probably will, we need to service this and whatever, and it'll be 127. I bet you it hasn't had a cam belt, but that's a £3,698 potential profit. So yeah, that would be a nice one, but time will tell. It could end up being a complete dog by the time we get it here. It seemed okay in the auction hall, but you never know. There we are. I quite enjoyed my first day back at the auctions. It was eventful, at least, and yeah, interesting to see some of the characters that you see at auctions I haven't seen in a long time. I don't think I'm going to be going there every week. I just wouldn't have the time, because it's now 3:30. I've probably been back for half an hour, so it's about 3 o'clock. Yeah, I definitely will do it again. I have to get up earlier, go and do my homework, and I might even end up going, doing my homework and leaving some provisional bids. Maybe trying to buy one that I can drive back, because it's only a 2-hour train journey from here. And I think I tried to do it last week, but other things came up, and it was only a 6 quid train fare. So I'd quite happily take a Wednesday away from the business, sit in the train, do some editing or something on the train, get some food, and then try and buy some cars and head back and have something for Josh to do on a Thursday and a Friday when he's in. So not a bad day, and I'm glad we bought something. I'd have been really frustrated if we got there and couldn't buy anything. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you're not, thank you for continuing to watch, and I will see you next time.